For the exhibition, I was bring a lot of works I made together for my first exhibition in Istanbul, first solo exhibition. Mauerstadt, it's also Berlin, because the city is separated in two parts, or better, was separated in two parts, but it's still the difference between East and West. This is also two systems. In my work with the rip-off works, I'm having always a positive and the negative, so everything you can see good on the installation behind you, but it's white on the painting left, it's black on the curtain on the right side. So it's like a yin-yang situation. We make the setting together, so Christoph and me. There was this idea to do something with the window, to bring also the outside inside. This you have the view with the painting of the city and the view in the exhibition from the city side between the painting. Then it was clear to present this one next to it, to showing the systems with two parts here. Then you have the two columns in the front. Actually, this was the idea of Christoph. We have these two sculptures together in one, the two pawns, and this is the system, how it's continue with different aspects. I'm always choosing the songs I really love. My favorite bands, Cure, Einstürzen, the Neubauten, different things, but if I have the cassette box pieces, I'm using the cassette what I can get. There are also music I don't like so much, but it becomes a different dimension because of the title what's written from a poem way. It's getting works of art if I'm presenting them like found objects or made sculptures out of it. This one I was pressed by us, so we was ordering them by the company. We decided the music, who it's on it. I think here it's I bring it to a person from Turkey, actually. He's having a flea market business in Berlin, and he shaped them like bowls. I was found out the bowls in Berlin on the flea market where he's selling them, where the people can put the chips inside or fruits. I was fascinated by the idea to have music in a bowl way where you can drink the music. This imagine, and this I was starting to buy a lot of them, and then I found out to make my Brancusi version in my language, and then I put one column next to each other and this becomes a wall. I'm using the cassette I'm having for this work. I was specially collecting white cassettes because pictogram in Berlin was also white. I like it very much. It reminds me to the pop art, but also from this have a bit of a retro charm. Let's say a bit like reminds me to Sigmar Polke. I think the K from Köfteci, it's a bit adapted from the Kellogg's cornflakes K. I think like this. I made already one red cassette box piece with Luise Händelmeier. It's a bit in this direction, and this is a sweet mustard what you having in Bavaria for eating the white sausages. And this work, it's for me a bit of this selection, and of course I wanted to bring it to Istanbul.
I was curating a show with Japanese artist Tomokatsu Matsuyama during the Venice Biennial 2 years ago. I did some tours for friends in Venice. The day I traveled to Venice, I received an invitation by Gregor Hildebrandt and saying that he's also doing something in Venice. So I wrote him back and said, hey, I'm in Venice too, why why don't you come to my show and I come to your show? So he came to see my show and I went to see his show. And the very moment when I've seen his exhibition in Venice, I said, wow, it's so fantastic to see that work so highly concentrated. I think we should do something in Istanbul. And I called the very moment Hazar Özil from Dirimart and told him that we'd like to do something together with Gregor, and Hazar immediately agreed to do that. He said, it's a great idea. I was always interested in the work of Gregor, and that's how this all getting started. I curated exhibitions outside the city center. I always invited for these projects 30 to 40 artists. And one day I thought, I've seen an exhibition by Gregor, I thought he could fit very, very good into that framework. I invited him to come over to Zurich, and that's how we started to work together. It's a long-lasting relationship between an artist and a curator. And the more you work together, the better you know the work. And when we came to Dirimart Dolapdere'de, it was clear that we wanted to show quite a wide field of work Gregor is touching. We didn't want to just show paintings or reliefs or sculptures. We wanted to give the Turkish audience the chance to get a close and wide impression of his work practice. Duale Systeme means two systems which exists parallel. As Gregor is coming from a city, Berlin, where until 1989 the two, let's say, global ideas were present in a very, very tiny place. So that means on one hand what we call today capitalism, and on the other hand what we call communism. Those two blocks were touching each other in the Berlin Wall. And this still creates a very specific energy, and it is an issue which is for Gregor highly interesting. So you can find in here source material from that old time, which is remixed, synthesized to artworks in order to create an impression which is a multi-layer impression. You have a surface. When you go closer, like with the köfteci piece here, then you discover several layers laying behind it.